Hi everyone, it's Jen again, and coming to the end of another week of OtomeJam. This week I did kind of pivot away from game dev for a moment and was working on a game trailer that I uploaded to the channel yesterday. And so this is just kind of like the art that I was creating for the trailer. I think I was thinking of like different character design art that inspired me when I was younger, like the Guilty Gear and Capcom. These more sort of dynamic fighting game poses that just kind of oozed with a lot of personality. So that's sort of what I was like going for with these posing and artwork, and I was pretty happy with how it came out. These days I don't struggle too much to, I guess, portray the ideas that I have in my head because I have a lot more clarity about what it is I'm trying to draw than I did when I was younger, which probably just comes with like experience. It's funny because I think back to when I was younger, and probably pretty recently actually, and I was always like embarrassed with how like rough and like just kind of all over the place that my like sketches look like. But in some ways I'm kind of like grateful for them now because they kind of show just I guess my process, just how just kind of loose and careless that I am, you know, when I'm starting out and I'm just trying to get the gesture. So hopefully that can be an encouragement to other aspiring artists to not be ashamed of like whatever their roughs look like. So I'm just gonna put it out there. This week was also kind of a rough week, I'll be honest. I don't want to go into details about my personal life because I don't think it's like relevant or even particularly interesting. But it does just kind of seem like there's been a lot of material conditions in my life that have been very challenging. Given the state of things, I'm guessing that there are probably a lot of people who are in similar shoes as I am, so I thought I would take this opportunity to just kind of acknowledge that and talk a little bit about how, from a creator, or in this case game dev perspective, what do we do when I guess life just kind of like punches you in the gut and then steps on your head while you're doubled over. How do you keep going? And for me, it's not a matter of like waiting for those things to get better. Certainly there are certain conditions where it may become like physically impossible for you to continue and you have to wait. But in my situation, it's not a physical impossibility for me to keep going. I know I've spoken in the past about needing to put on your own oxygen mask before you can help others. And really, game dev or like creative journey in general is like my oxygen mask. It's what keeps me going. So it's always going to be a priority for me to make some kind of time in it every day, just in order for me to survive. Otherwise, I have a tendency to just check out on life, and that's not really a way to exist, in my opinion. I think there's kind of a tendency for the popular advice to be like, don't worry about that now, just, you know, things will get better, there'll be opportunities in the future. And certainly there's always opportunities in the future, you know, I guess as long as you're alive for the next day. You know, there's always going to be opportunities in the future. So I strongly believe that it's never too late. But I also believe that as you grow older, things don't get any easier. And there's a good chance that whatever you think is awful right now, you may look back, you know, years or decades and be like, wow, I wish that was the worst of my problems now. Not saying that I absolutely will. Just saying that from my observations and personal experiences, it rarely tends to get any better, and you can't wait. or at least I don't want to wait for things to get better before I start living. So I want to encourage other people to not wait if you can. Just go for it, because otherwise you could be waiting forever. And again, like, I don't think of it as something that that takes away from, you know, my ability to, I guess, relax or to decompress or to, I don't see it as a source of stress, as a source of stress relief for me, as a source of like survival for me. And so maybe if life was easier, who knows, maybe I wouldn't even have the drive to do what I do. Maybe I would become complacent. I guess which brings me to another point that I want to clarify is sometimes I do get comments about like, I don't know, it being impressive that I'm doing what I'm doing and I work full time and I'm a mom, and I guess certainly like my day is pretty full from like when I wake up to like when I go to bed, but I'm glad for it, and I don't really feel like there's anything like that's discipline or that's what's the word? That's remarkable. It's a form of survival for me. It's my way of coping. And I don't know, maybe it's not healthy. I don't have all the answers. All I know is that I did go through a period of not creating anything, and coming to terms with the creative process in a way that served me instead of me serving it. And ever since then, it hasn't been work for me. It's just been play, and it's been a respite. And it's like I need it. And I don't think that I would make time for it. And I don't think I would like draw like with this urgency that's in my hands to put that idea onto paper, to manifest, these ideas that I have in my head. To jump out of bed, I just couldn't without this, and I wonder, is this something that's uniquely me? I don't think so. I think that a lot of people could benefit from allowing themselves to just explore the creative journey on their terms, without any pressure for gaining any approval, getting any monetization, without making it a commodity, without thinking of it in terms of like content, without thinking of it in terms of like being worthy or worth your time and effort, but rather just as an expression of self that is a relief to indulge. Well, those are my thoughts for now. Like I said, again, maybe I'm being irrational about my opinions right now. I did have a pretty hard week. Migraines are awful. And just as a side note, the internet really did help me out. I came across some like random YouTube video where somebody was talking about like soaking your feet in hot water to help circulate the blood, as that being a way of relieving migraines. And when I could no longer take any more medication for the migraines, the hot water, it worked like a charm. So I will at least I will be doing that whenever I can going forward, and I will swear by it, I guess. At least in my personal experience with my particular body, that was the magical cure to just an unrelenting headache or migraine that I just could not, I couldn't do anything about. So if you also struggle with that and you haven't tried hot water, I would recommend at least giving it a shot. I think that's all I've got for this week. I've probably rambled long enough. Share your experiences, your thoughts below. Let's get through this together. Okay, take care. Don't forget to enjoy the journey and the process. Bye now.